Hello guys, this is Vysh. So one more weekend is here and the offers all have expired. 2025 test series, 2026 test series, everything we are closing. And the budget PDF which we launched last week, that also, if you want, come and contact today itself in the WhatsApp which you see on screen now. And the daily notes, daily notes which we are giving now, which will have daily like 5 to 10 topics, and it's going to help you clear your prelims, your mains, your interview. Everything is going to be closed. I mean the offers are going to be closed. You can enroll anytime, but this test series batches and all we are closing, and the daily notes free samples you can come and ask in WhatsApp. I'll give you, and we kept at 3,999, such a low price for next 2 years. That is daily notes. Daily you are getting ready-made mains answers. Ready-made mains answers of highest quality. And still, if you did not use this offer, then it's like you are doing injustice to your own preparation. Today also we will discuss 3 GS1 topics of Periyar Ramasamy, the major mines of Africa, then Fort Williams, and the continent is confused now after the Trump has come into power, like whether they should go to USA side or China side. And then sacred groves of India, monetary policy changes, RBI monetary policy committee, and the repo rate for the first time in 5 years it has gone down. So all these things, like this every day, if you study for 500 days with us, you are going to easily clear any exam. Whether it is banking or PCS or UPSC or anything, this is going to help you, this daily notes. So come and ask in WhatsApp and get the offer, because after the offer is gone, we will be giving it at 5,999. Now it is 3,999, and also there is 12 months installment also. So if you miss all that, then you have to pay this. We are not going to give you this golden opportunity again, because already 1.5 months we have been doing this, and all the serious aspirants have already joined and saw the samples and all. So it's up to you that you want to simply delay or time pass and then just waste your next 500 days, or study seriously from a quality content. So RBI monetary policy, you would have seen the news already. First, you have to know what is the committee, or who is the one who decides all these monetary policy. The basic term, I hope you know. Monetary policy is something which the bank is doing, and fiscal policy is something which the government is doing. You would have seen the budget on February 1. So those are all fiscal policies, and whatever the RBI is doing, it's called monetary policies. So monetary policy committee was established in 2016 under the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. Recommendations were given by Urjit Patel, and their main aim is to keep the inflation in control. So inflation, like, it should be 4%, maximum plus or minus 2, that range it should be. That is like 2 to 6% it should stay, and to make it stay, they have to control all the interest rates, the price stability, financial stability, everything. They are the ones who will drive the economy. So this committee will have 6 members. 3 are from RBI and 3 are from the government of India, and this is a UPSC question. UPSC prelims, already this question has come in 2017 or 18, I think. So RBI governor will be there as a chairperson, deputy governor will be there, and one other RBI will be there, which is officially nominated by the central bank itself. And government also will appoint 3 people for a 4-year term. So decisions are taken by majority vote, and in case there is a tie, that time the RBI governor will have an extra casting vote. Tie, you have to break that tiebreaker kind of vote. So inflation you have to target between 2 to 6%, and if 3 consecutive quarters, if you exceed 6%, that means you have failed in controlling the inflation, and then you have to submit a detailed report to the government explaining what all corrective measures can be done. So to control all this, RBI has many tools, which is again economics topics. I have done a separate video on this. You can watch that. Simply search Vysh IAS repo rate, you will get that video. So repo rate is something like a interest rate, meaning I'll show you. In the next slide I'll show you. You just learn the terms now. Repo rate, reverse repo rate, CRR, and OMO. So CRR is nothing but cash reserve ratio, how much each bank has to keep reserve. It's not like you go and deposit your money in the bank and immediately bank can give out everything as loan. You cannot do that. Bank has to keep some money as reserve. That is the cash reserve ratio. So some percentage will be there. Same like that, SLR is also same thing. But like along with cash, you keep some as bond paper, you keep some as gold. So like that you again keep as a reserve. So after the CRR, SLR, what is left, that only the bank can give out as loan. That is the basic idea. And now while giving loan also, that interest and all will control by different interest rate. So about the repo rate, if you see, the full form of it is repurchase. Repurchase option. That is, like, suppose the Reserve Bank of India is giving loan to the smaller bank, whichever bank is there, Reserve Bank of India is there. So there one interest rate will be there. So repo rate is the rate at which the Reserve Bank of India lends short-term funds to the commercial banks against government securities. Meaning they will give money to you, but you have to keep some securities here with RBI. And whenever you repay the loan, you will repurchase that securities back. That is why it's called repurchase option. That is called repo rate. Understood the thing? SBI will go and ask for loan. It will get the loan, but you have to give some papers there. Then only you will get the money. Now later you will repurchase that. So that time there will be an interest rate also. When you give back, it's not the same money you give back. There's an interest rate also. That interest rate is called repo rate. So that till now it was 6.5%. Since 2020, it was 6.5%. Now it has become 6.25%. So whenever you decrease like that, it is called basis point. That is 25 basis point you have reduced. If you tell I reduced 50 basis point, then instead of 6.25, it would have become 6. Okay, so that's how they tell. So now after 5 years, for the first time, they have reduced that from 6.5 to 6.25%. So what will happen is now the interest rate is reduced. That means more and more money will come out to the public. Okay. So that logic, that again the next slide I'll tell you. So repo transactions, bank borrow from the RBI to repo rate to meet their goals, the short-term goals and all. They keep this thing as collateral, the government bond, and later they'll repurchase it. So to control inflation and or decrease inflation and all, that time this RBI will decide whether I should keep more money with me or whether we should let more and more money go to the SBI, and then the SBI will give to the local people. That they will decide. So based on the rates, it will be controlling the inflation and the growth and all. Okay. So this changes will affect everything: your loan, interest, banking, investment, savings, everything it will affect. Okay, so now if the repo rate increases, okay, actually now in today's case, the news case, if you see, it is decreased only. Okay, first we'll take that case. Now it's decreased. It's decreased means what? Interest rate is decreased means the loan and all you will get at cheaper price. So there will be lower borrowing cost. So banks can borrow at cheaper rates, leading to lower loan EMIs for the individual and business. So the interest rate has gone down. So you can get loan at cheaper rate and you will get that money. And what will happen? That time liquidity will increase, meaning more money with the people. First you should see this complete government master plan. Okay, first in the budget, what they did, for up to 12 lakh income, there is no income tax. So there itself, those who earlier it was like up to 7 lakh, no income tax. Now up to 12 lakh, no income tax. So lot of money already there with the people. On top of that, they are now telling that the banking, when you take loan, there also interest rate you have reduced. So more money will come to the people. So more money is purposely being made available so that they again spend and invest. Okay, the people should spend and invest in the market. So one problem with that is inflation can happen. Meaning now all of you got money. Like suppose earlier you had only 10 rupee, your neighbor also had 10 rupee. Okay, and then now it's like you both have 100 rupees because of like more money coming to your hands. But in the market, that suppose 10 rupee material what you buy, that market production is still the same, right? It did not suddenly become like 100 products came. So because you have more money, you will start going and demanding that same product, and so products will start getting over. When products start getting over, the last piece and all, the shopkeepers will tell double the price or triple the price because they know that demand is there. So that is called inflation. So when you give more and more money to the people, the risk of inflation is always there. But it also helps in boosting our GDP growth because people will invest in businesses, people will invest in products. You will again pay the other indirect tax, the GST, the income tax, all indirect income tax, this all you will pay. And so this will also make it look like the the GDP is booming, the economy is booming. Okay, and again the rupee can become weak because now more money is with the people. So the weak and strong is a simple logic. Okay, like there are like here only $2 notes is there, but here there are 10 type of rupee notes. Okay, that means this is looking more right. So this is like cheap. The per value of this will be cheap. So when something is more, it will become weak. So when rupee, now you are pushing this much into the economy, the rupee can become weak. That also, so there is a disadvantage that when we do this process which government has done, the inflation can go high and the rupee can become weak. But that for a short term, we are okay to take it as of now because we are focusing on our Make in India, and that problem which I told that there will be no products in the market, that problem won't come. There are enough and more materials available in the market, and with this extra money which you get, you will invest, you will get your goods also, and the economy will boom also. So this is what happened now. Okay, now the opposite of that, whenever suppose this inflation becomes too high, which I told, inflation become too high, rupee become very weak, then RBI will do the reverse of it. Now they did 6.25, they maybe increase it by 50 basis point and make it 6.75. So suddenly all the money will get sucked back into the bank itself. So the cost of borrowing will increase, liquidity will thus reduce, inflation will slower, rupee will become stronger, but the economy will grow slowly. The total reverse of it. So with this single case study itself, I hope you understood what is repo rate. Okay, reverse repo rate, there is another term, that is the reverse of it. When RBI sometimes needs money and RBI will ask the bank. Okay, it's not like RBI literally needs money, but RBI want to pull out all the money from the bank and also they will take it in the form of loan from bank. Okay, so that is a different procedure. That and all, as I told, simply search Vysh IAS repo rate or Vysh IAS economics, you will get lectures. Watch there, I have explained it fully. Okay, so here the news is repo rate has been reduced in 5 years for the first time in this first monetary policy meeting which they had in 2025, and they have reduced it. So One another thing you have to interestingly see is this is not only a new year, this is also the new and the first term of the new RBI governor. Okay, this you would have seen, this Shantikata Das, Kanta Das, he was replaced by Sanjay Malhotra, who was the revenue secretary in Jan 2025, and the deputy governor also, who is ideally should be responsible for monetary policy, he also retired last month. So that also is a new person, meaning the governor is new, deputy governor is new, chairman is new. So they are making a decision in tandem with what the government wants as per the budget, and fiscal and monetary policy both are now looking same. Okay, so rupee, as I told, it's declining, but as of now we are okay with that, because the entire world's economy is going down only, meaning the rupee or the local currency is going down only compared to dollar, because Trump is doing more and more protectionism policy. He's trying to make dollar stronger. So as and when dollar gets stronger, naturally others will get weaker. Even if you do something or not, anyway it's going to get weaker. But that gap we are trying to just boost our economy. Okay, and US is also withdrawing from all the tax accords, all the international aid programs, everything they are getting out. So that and all is going to anyway make dollar stronger, and that is why rupee is anyway getting weaker. Okay, so this basics you should know, and this is the current rate around 87 thing, and it can again go up to maybe 90, 91 and all, and later we may replace or reverse the repo rate. Okay, then it will again come in stronger rupee. So as I told, inflation can happen, deficit can happen, all these things will happen. That and all we have to wait and see. But I hope you got the understanding like how the changing of repo rate can lead to inflation, and it can lead to weaker this thing. Okay, so as I told, our economy was slowing down. That is the reason all this is being done. We had weaker private consumption, we had weaker private investment, we had tighter monetary policy. So everything, it was now made loose. Okay, that time it was tight, now it is loosened. That is, more money is going to be pushed into the market. So there has been disagreements between the finance minister and RBI earlier, but now with the new term coming up with the new governor and all, everything seems to be in sync, and government and RBI both are working in tandem. Okay, and inflation, if you see, it has remained above 5% as of now. It is okay. We cannot go beyond 6% for 3 quarters, but it's 5% is completely decent, and it's going fine. Okay. And as I told, the rate cut could weaken the rupee. This is just I am telling in perspective of inflation, and just like why the rate cut was announced. Okay, in case that way UPSC ask why we have to do, we have to encourage the borrowing and investment, we have to support the consumption of urban people, and we have to align with the global trend. Okay, everywhere this is happening. That is why for the first time since May 2020, we have cut it from 6.5 to 6.25. Okay. So this again is a conclusion statement of whatever we discussed, everything I have told here. First policy review of 2025 was conducted in a challenging economic environment, because we had leadership transition, we had declining rupee, we had slow economic growth, we had inflationary pressure. In spite of that, we have cut 25 basis point, and we are trying to boost our economy because we need more and more stability compared to what USA does there. Okay. So that is the first article, basics of repo rate, MPC, and the news items we have discussed. Now about EV Ramasamy, this is his quote, this you can use. As long as we give room for domination and dominators, there will be worries and worried people. Poverty and pestilence will live eternally in the country. So he is known for a lot of social reforms, and especially movements in Tamil Nadu for this Dravida Nadu and Tamil movement, fighting against Hindi imposition, all these things. Okay, so basics details, like if you see 1879 is his timeline. Timeline is important because UPSC asks like who is contemporary with whom and all. So you should know. Okay, like even like Mahatma Gandhi's time, whether he was there or not, that kind of timeline you have to know. So he's initially there in the Congress party, because that time there was only a single party in our country, and then he founded the self-respect movement in 1925, and he worked for the this abolition of caste system, promoting women rights, rationalism, widow remarriage, intercaste marriage, abortion, birth control, women's property right, meaning everything for women. Okay, even the this Pativata system and all, he was challenging it, and then he established this DK, okay, in 1944, which only is now you can tell a predecessor party of today's DMK and AIDMK, which are the two strongest parties in Tamil Nadu as of now. There is no like BJP or Congress, and these things are all very minor parties there. Okay, they're now trying to grow, but these are the major parties there. So he has been rejecting all the Hindu text, also criticizing the social inequality mentioned there, the caste system there, and he even rejected many Tamil literature works which I have written here, Kamba Ramayanam, Silapadigaram, and the Tirukkural and all. These are all very popular things of the Tamil literature, but he tells that these things promote superstitions, casteism and all, and social inequality. So he has been always opposed to that. Okay, so he advocated for a separate Dravida Nadu, that is a South Indian Federation, and he strongly opposed Hindu imposition, and that is why even even now most of his things the present parties are also following, but still it's not like fully adopted, but still most of his ideologies are still there in activeness, because the parties are kind of offshoot of his party only, which was the DK, started in 1944. Okay. So now if you have booked any calls, I hope all the calls are already done. In case anything is pending, remind me on WhatsApp. We'll book a slot and just finish the call. Okay, so that you can discuss what you have to enroll to. Now, the sacred groves of India, you in your hometowns, also in your villages and all, you will have this kind of thing, especially in South India and in Northeast and all. We have this concept of sacred groves. Okay, like traditionally you protect it, like a small temple kind of structure will be there, and then maybe like snake is the god, or maybe nature is the god. That kind of things will be there. Okay, so that related, it's a protected area, so that related a new judgment kind of thing has come. So the community, the definition, if you see, it's a community managed patches of forest conserved through traditional customs and religious belief. This is the one line definition of it, and it is a biodiversity hotspot because there are medicinal plants, and there is like this soil conservation, water conservation, and many such things happen. And in India, at least 1 to 10 lakh of sacred groves are there, and that is the highest in the world of this form of forest patches. Okay, and regionally it has different names when it goes to different state. Okay, like Rajasthan, you can tell in comment section which state you are from and what it is called in your state. Okay, like here Devrakadu, Kavu, Devban, Sarna, and Jehara, like this many names are there, and here temples will be there, burial sites may be there, shrines may be there. This is how it is maintained. So legally, sacred groves are recognized under various laws like the Wildlife Protection Act, the Forest Right Act 2006, and the Forest Conservation Act 1980. So recently, Supreme Court Directives 2024 has come that this has to be mandatorily classified as the community reserve. Okay, like we have wildlife sanctuary, or you have national park, like that. There is a group called community reserve also. Okay, which the center will be looking into. So the debate is now between that only, like who will have the control over the sacred groves. So traditionally, I told you, it is a forest resource and managed by the Gram Sabhas under the Forest Right Act 2006. The Supreme Court order now to classify them as community reserve will make it go under, like from FRA Act, it will go fully under the other act. Okay, the WLPA, okay, Wildlife Protection Act it will go, and it shifts the control from the local community to the forest department, which can be under the state government. Okay, so from the local government, it is going to the state government. So this sacred groves, you should know, it usually helps in our climate related disasters, floods, landslides, everything, because it protects the soil, it protects the animals and plants there. It's like a gene bank for wildlife species and all, and you get rare species there. All these things are the basic static part of what you should know about sacred grove. Okay, so as I told, the judgment has come, and because of this, now they have mandated, the Supreme Court has mandated that a proper mapping should happen, a proper classification should happen using technologies, satellite, drones and all. You should map it properly and then classify this as proper forest under the Forest Conservation Act 1980, and it is a community reserve from now, which will be taken care by the forest department, or the state or the central governments will look into it. Okay, that is why that full judgment is related here, written here. Okay, so here traditionally these communities have managed these groves, and they had many custom laws, they have their own superstitions, their taboos, their rituals, everything is related to that. So now, as I told, it's going to have a conflict with the two different act, and it can overlap also, like who will have powers of maintaining it or protecting it and conducting anything there. That will, permissions and all will change now. So recommendations for policy development is that the Union Environment Ministry should formulate a proper nationwide policy which is applying to all the sacred groves in all the states, and the court suggesting that this is going to happen, like who is the custodians and all, that you should be, it's just a Supreme Court judgment, right? So when a law comes only, it will actually get implemented. So that law should maintain the balance between the ecological conservation also and the cultural practice also, because it's a very sensitive area. So just because you want to protect these greenery and all these things, you should not go and touch their rituals. Okay, rituals or whatever the local people and the Gram Sabha is conducting, that you should not touch. So proper legal safeguard is welcome. It should happen. That is the conclusion here. It should happen. But again, the harmony should be there between the local people and the environment. Now the next article, Africa's mineral wealth. Okay, so Africa, you know, even though it is one of the poorest continent in terms of GDP and all these things, it is richest in terms of the minerals. It has diamond, gold, platinum, oil, gas, coffee, tea, anything you take, they have almost everything. Okay, now that too in every country, one mineral is like one of the largest in the world also, the production levels and all. So first I have shown you 2-3 slides for your SSC kind of exam and all, SSC, PCS, state exams. There are all, they usually ask the factual things and match the following of which mine is where. So all the important minerals like copper in which all countries, and what are the mine names like cobalt, chromium. I'm giving you the country also because this was last year's prelims question. 2024 UPSC prelims, they asked you which is the country with the largest cobalt, largest cobalt, and answer was DRC. Okay, and this year also DRC is in news because there the civil war is going on. Okay, so that is why I have mentioned this kind of learning. If you do daily, your prelims get solved, your mains get solved, and your interview also, you are confident of any topic, anything they ask you, whether it is repo rate or whether they ask you about Sacred Grove or anything they ask you, I would have taught you with this much clarity that you will be able to answer it easily. Okay, so lithium is also in news. So lithium is there in Zimbabwe, DRC again, and Namibia. So the mine names are not very important for UPSC students, but for SSC PCS students, even the mine names may be important. Okay, like what is having how much and who is the largest and all. Okay, see, largest producer in DRC of copper is here, which is operated by China. So like that, everything I have tried to mention, you just make a note of it. This is just one picture. One more slide I'll show you. See, this is the gold, diamond, and platinum. Okay, gold, diamond, and platinum. Platinum group of metals means platinum, palladium, and rhodium. All three are there. Okay, and South Africa produces again 70% of the world's platinum. It's again a prelims question. Okay, diamonds, if you see, it's not in one country. It's there in Botswana. It's there in South Africa. It's there in Angola, DRC. Everywhere it's there. Gold also, multiple mines they have. Okay, and so you have to know like which all minerals and metals are there in Africa, and whether they are the largest producers of any of them, and whether they are in news especially. Okay, so rare earth elements are in news, so they are in Tanzania, Madagascar, and South Africa. Uranium is there in 2-3 places. Manganese is there in 2 places. So all these list I have just given for all the exams, taking into consideration all the exams. Okay, now the news item is about Africa in confusion between whether they have to go to USA side or to China side. Okay, so Africa, as I told you, they hold 20% of the world's copper reserve, 20% of the aluminum raw material, 50% of the manganese and cobalt, 90% of the platinum group metals, and 36% of chromium. Okay, and it has other lithium, uranium, gold, everything they have. So they have all this, but still it is failed to convert it or monetize it properly because of the political instability, corruption, inadequate infrastructure, and the legal frameworks. And every time they are fighting in the name of religion and everything they are fighting. Okay, this countries which has just one religion also, they are fighting between different sects. Okay, you take Sudan or wherever. Sudan even broke into 2 countries, Sudan and South Sudan. And South Sudan is the latest country in the world. If you know, 2011 it was formed, and after that I don't think a new country has been formed. Okay, so that is the latest country, again in the name of religion. Okay, so like this, these people are fighting. That is the reason, even though they had huge mineral, and there is huge demand in the world also because of this electric vehicles and all these things, still you are not able to use your critical minerals for making money. Okay, so US protectionism policy, you know, now Trump has come and he's trying to protect the entire US economy. He's not going to help Africa from now, or he's going to not help the South American countries from now. He's just focused about USA. Okay, so now the funding is going to reduce from there, and China already has very strict policies and all. Even though China gives a lot of loan and all, in exchange of that they take away your land, your rights, your many things they take away. That is why now Africa is confused. Should I switch from China to USA, or now because USA is strict now, should I again rely on China, or we should go to a third person who can help us other than USA and China? Okay, so Africa is facing this tension, and they are even thinking like to go to a BRICS group, which again China is only leading. So BRICS group for their terms and their money and their loan and all. And external pressures are also there. African leaders are trying to get control by themselves instead of depending on others, and they want to try to industrialize themselves so that they can change from this underdeveloped and developing economy to a developed economy. So in the news also you would have seen cobalt prices have changed because of this overproduction in DRC. That is why last year question came. DRC overproduction happened, and so the price reduced. And now again the electric vehicle, which was there in huge demand, now it is now suddenly the talks are like we should make hybrid vehicles where it's not like only electric, it can be both. So that is why again cobalt requirement is going down. Lithium iron phosphate are increasing. So like this many things are happening, and so the dynamics of whether Africa can do something by themselves or world will actually come and invest in them, that is in dilemma. That is why they are confused. So about that an article has come. Okay, so 2026-25, okay, this again I told you we are closing the batch. Now you cannot enroll to these batches. This full 500-day timetable, whoever has enrolled with us, next 500 days you will study with us based on our plans and our test series and all. So we'll discuss the next article or the last article for today. Okay, so Kolkata's Fort William. You would have heard about this in your history textbook also. We study all the forts in like Bengal fort when we study, then Bombay fort we study. In Kerala we study forts when Portuguese came. So many forts you had already known. So the Fort William is now going to be called as the Vijay Durg. Okay, Vijay Durg. So it's not just one. It's like a initiative where many things are being renamed. All things are, the intention is to shed the colonial legacies. Okay, we don't want their names, their king name, queen name, whatever is there. That and all we are deleting and putting our own local or our Indian national leaders. Okay, so here Fort William is changed. This Kitchener House is changed to Manekshaw House, because we know the Sam Manekshaw, the first army officer who got the marshal tag. And then the St. George Gate is there. That will be called as Shivaji Gate. So this all is part of our cultural, you can tell, bringing back our culture, bringing back our names, our own names. And the history of it, if you know, 1781 it was constructed. And this year we are expecting question on Fort William, because there are many events which happened that time. If you remember the Spectrum textbook you take and study, Britishers initial days itself, there were many people in Bengal, the story, the Bengal, the Battle of Plassey, and all these things happened around that time, 1750s to 1780s. Battle of Buxar is there, 1784. So all these things, they are going to ask you question this year. So please focus on that also, revise on that. My Spectrum lectures are anyway there for free. So we are trying to have a decolonization, literally, by removing all these things. And a formal announcement is going to happen soon of much more such things. And March 2022 itself, Prime Minister Modi has told that we have to completely indigenize our national defense systems. We have to move away from our legacy systems. In our education also, we have to bring back everything in schools, colleges, medical, everywhere we are using the USA kind of dress code for the convocation ceremony and all. That has to be changed to traditional Indian things. So everywhere the heritage is being promoted, and I hope this will continue, because that is how a country can actually stand out. Okay, if you keep using UK, USA culture, you cannot show yourself as a unique country. Okay, so again, all these, again, as I told, prelims questions are there in our test series programs. You can enroll to the subject test PDF separately, because the full plan is over anyway. And for any details, come and WhatsApp me. Okay. So these are the topics, and this PDF I hope you have already got in case you are enrolled. In case you are not enrolled, try to WhatsApp and get it today itself, because we have closed the batches officially.